I intended to stream this, guys, but I can't stream it because I don't have internet. So I am able to watch it because I have a mobile hotspot, and that's just going to be just enough to watch this trailer. So my wife and I will be watching and reacting for the first time to the Summerfest Games 2021, Summer Game Fest 2021 release of Elden Ring trailer. So I'm going to make sure we're good. Like, I want this at 1080p, full screen. Okay, now let us engage in the hype. I love it so far.
He's eating Mama's finger. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's pretty. Uh-huh.
Wow. Magic course.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Patrick loves it. Oh, we're spitting.
Oh. Goodness, that was a big one.
I got this. You keep watching because it's great. Wow. Okay, I have to pause and say this. Did you see the red girl that stabbed? So she was in the initial trailer.
Yeah.
And it looked like she was going to be a good guy, but I guess not. Yeah. Oh, there's that guy again. He's also a boss. Is everyone we saw in the trailer besides the blacksmith a boss? Okay.
Cool.
Oh, by the way, January 21st. Yeah, as soon as this comes available for pre-order, I'm going to get the biggest thing you can get of it. Like, I'm going to get the $120 one if they have one. But, okay, so here's what I took from that. So
everybody is in bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I took from
Yeah,
that.
everybody's and you see it from the initial trailer too. People are breaking apart. The guy's giving himself new arms and things like that. The red girl's attaching a new arm and everything. So that is So it said it's shattered. I'm assuming these people are part of a pantheon or something. And so the Elden Ring was shattered, and so that was the speculation. So that was had something to do with. That's what that was the age or it was thought that was the age or the binding of ages or the binding of worlds. So the breaking of the Elden Ring allowed for access from one world to another, very similar to a concept in Berserk that I wish I understood better, but I've not read or watched Berserk. But which would have made sense because Miyazaki loves Berserk. The guy who wrote Berserk. I can't remember if he was just the artist or if he was the author of or everything or what else he did, but he died like a couple weeks ago.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I don't know Berserk. That's unfortunate.
It looks awesome, but I've never had the opportunity to engage in it. And so that was the idea. So now the Elden Ring was a concept, but now, from what I see here, the Elden Ring is a physical object. And it was shattered, so it somehow has to be remade or repaired. Or I believe it was shattered. It said it was shattered by someone or something, but it didn't say... I don't remember the original trailer saying the Elden Ring was shattered by someone or something. But then one of the last things it said, they will try to stop you and they will die. So try to stop from getting the Elden Ring, but then it said, brandish the Elden Ring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what is it that you brandish? That's the only thing I could ever think of brandishing as a weapon, personally. I would think of the Elden Ring, at this point, as a weapon, but not like a direct weapon, like a sword. So I'm guessing it's some kind of... something that indicates power.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I found the Elden Ring, I have the Elden Ring, whatever it is. I have it, I found it, you gotta listen to me, I'm the boss now. No, you don't. Yes, I do. I got it. Brandish the Elden Ring and you know. But that would imply, though, that whoever that smith was at the beginning,
yes,
he was, in fact, breaking the Elden Ring. Or, yeah, and so he was breaking as he did. So for some reason, it was so much worth it to him to break the Elden Ring. And it could be, and that could very well be that the Elden Ring is a weapon. So this smith might be a bad guy?
I wonder if that'll have to do with like multiple endings in this game, like
Yeah.
in the Dark Souls type things.
Yeah.
If you either keep it or you destroy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would assume that this smith, like, all these bad things were already happening. People were coming for the Elden Ring. This is my guess about the smith. People were coming for the Elden Ring. And he was like, no. Of course, I guess he didn't... it probably caused much more problems that he broke it. But it was more of a... people want this so bad. People are fighting and killing for this thing. He's a misguided good guy. He's like, I don't want people to fight and kill anymore. So, therefore, I am going to destroy it. Mm-hmm. And it didn't work out. Let's watch it again. And instead of just being mesmerized by it, we'll, like, give pauses and stuff. And for the second time watching it, we'll see what... give our individual thoughts about each part of it here. Or if we have thoughts about any part, we'll pause and give our thoughts there. And if you say pause to give thoughts, I'll pause.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. Or you can reach over and do it. It's just spacebar. Either or, I didn't hit play.
He's eating mama. Okay, so who are you sniffing for one?
Okay, so
Or
that looks like the character. That's
what
the
I
girl
thought.
that's talking the whole time.
Okay.
Esta chica.
So
Esa?
she chose you.
It would seem.
That is not a horse.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It's a cow pony.
Mm-hmm. This is really similar to like the Grand Archives and the Grand Cathedral and everything. From, of course, I said Grand Cathedral, like the cathedral, like, well, this, I guess they have the Grand Cathedral here and the Grand Archives here. Very similar designs. I'm curious about that tree. It's popped up several times in the background and in the foreground. You know what I'm talking
The
about?
really pretty big white tree.
The white gold, yeah, or is
Yeah.
it black and blue? Either way. That little scene right there. Let me go back a bit. Can I hold? I can't. Okay, right. Okay, let's keep going back. Matt Easton would have something to say about this. Like, he literally just did a video. Matt Easton did about how if you're going to use like the potential one-handed uses for a longsword, and why would you ever use a longsword one-handed? He said one of those reasons is on horseback, because you do not want to use a two-handed slashing weapon from horseback. And here's this guy right here. Yeah. Like, literally yesterday, he made this video.
Also, those things hanging from the ceiling.
Oh, I didn't see this guy before. Check it out. It's Cthulhu Man.
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
I mean, I guess I kind of saw it, but I didn't notice all the tentacles and everything.
And the
vulvas and all that. What would you call it?
I was thinking of peach pits, honestly. Like, I don't know.
Oh, I can kind of see that with the split. I've never seen them halfway split open before, but I'll allow it.
Anyway, the guys in the first, you wouldn't have got this, but like in the very last scene that you just were in, the little people hanging from the ceiling.
Well, I'll go back to it.
Those. Those reminded me of Ariel in the Ursula's cave, the little wormy guys.
Yeah, but look at this. Look at that though. Do you see what this is?
No.
It's go back to it. Most of these are a foot.
Yeah, I know. They're not people. They're like little. They're what are they called?
And then look at this foot right here. Look at how many joints there are here. It looks like there's the heel, and it goes up here to a knee. There's a joint there and a joint there. And a joint there. And there could be a joint right here.
The Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Heel,
what are they
joint,
called?
Joint.
Dufflepuds.
Yeah. Like this is, and then I'm trying to find other because I'm trying to become Vati Vidya here.
I mean, surely that would put you off of your dinner.
Okay,
seeing that was in a dining area where all those dudes were hanging.
Now this is a neat thing. Here's their mimics, I suppose. What are their arms made of?
I think of that as a mimic.
What are their arms made of? What did you think of them as?
I don't know. Pots with arms.
I was thinking of boggarts. They look like boggarts. Just imagine if this was just a little round body instead of a pot. It'd be a boggart. Old Testament confirmed. This is Moses with the tablets.
All right, bringing history into this thing.
Look at this. That is not an average shaped thing. Look at that. You see this thing down here? Okay, so when I go to edit this, I'm going to zoom in on this thing right here.
Oh.
But do you see it? It's just like a little round head and then long arms and legs. The arms are almost reaching the floor. And there's more of them.
Mike Wazowski.
But now here you see the shape of the side of it. Its back is arched there.
Baby.
This one looks like he might have a fin on his back. They look like they make me think of drowners. Draugrs, like actual draugr, because draugr are drowned. I guess like draugr and drown I think mean the same thing. Lost, help me with that. That's Norwegian. Draugr or drowned, right?
Well, Jonathan, I actually spoke with a friend of mine who got a degree in Old Norse legends, and he told me the extensive history behind the draugr. As it turns out, during the early days, the word draugr was used to describe the basic undead. While there are ghosts in Norwegian folklore, it's more common that it's the corpse itself that rises from the grave to do all kinds of shenanigans. Sometimes the undead are helpful, but most times they are portrayed as evil, or suffering, or sometimes both. In fact, the word draugr itself is related to the Norwegian word bedrag, which means betrayal. It was later that the term came to be used for those lost at sea, specifically sailors or fishermen, people that weren't buried in Christian soil. The morality of the undead is something I find quite fascinating. It was said that if you saw a draugr while out fishing, turn home immediately. Some people said that it meant a storm was coming. Other people said that the draugr themselves would pull you down and drown you. There are a couple of stories that I think is very telling when it comes to this. One is about a young man walking down the shoreline when suddenly a group of draugrs walk out of the sea and attack him. The young man panics and he runs to the church. The church doors are closed, so he turns around and yells to all of the people buried at the cemetery, "Please, people who are here, help me!" And so the dead rise from their grave. Both the newly dead and the skeletons, they rise from their graves and they go to battle against the draugr. The man runs home. But before the sun rises, there's a knock on the door. He opens the door and he sees his long-deceased grandfather, who tells him that I was the reason that the undead didn't tear you apart, so I want you to take all of the parts that belong in the sea and throw them back, because I made sure that you were safe. That's a really fascinating story. Another story about a woman who lost her husband at sea, and she was so distraught that she decided to take her own life. So she walked up to a cliff and stared down into the river. She decided she wanted to jump from this specific spot because the current was going to drag her out to sea. She jumped, and as soon as she hit the water, she blacked out. But she didn't die. She awoke in her bed, covered in all kinds of seaweed. Of course, the young lady was distraught, who wouldn't be? But once she had regained some of her senses, she noticed that on the wall where all the family portraits hung, the portrait of herself was gone, and wet footprints were leading away. And there you go, Jonathan. That's a story about a draugr saving his suicidal wife. I hope you find this fascinating, because I certainly did.
Watch this. As that thing does its downward slam attack, okay?
Uh-huh.
See where its head is on its body? Watch its head. Look at that.
What?
Look at its back
Oh, yeah.
and the alignment with its head, and then as the head goes down.
Yeah. Yeah, it curves. It's very
Let go of that, buddy. Thanks, pal.
caterpillar inchworm.
Yeah. That's wild. Also, I want a cart like that.
An open flame, I guess.
Yeah, I want a cart like this. Can I have a cart like this?
Sure.
Okay. That's where the exploded petroleum comes in.
Yeah.
I'll need lots of petroleum. No, I won't need petroleum. Look at this. You see the color of this flame here? That, to me, this color looks like a propane oxygen flame burning at a very perfect rate, like almost perfectly burning. Except for as it gets more yellow up here, so it's not burning perfectly. So
It's hitting the grass. It's burning grass.
I'm just thinking it's not burning perfectly, so you get the really nice, like the oxygen the oxypropane up here, and then it's just more propane burning up here. So it's not putting. They need to have a little bit better of an oxygen mixture with this. They're not being very good about it. Anyways, I'm gonna play right there. That hand.
Yes, the hand.
Yeah.
The almond finger.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Hand.
5. Yeah. So here's.
It has no person attached to it.
But think about the hand though. Look, think really closely about this hand. It's not moving like a hand. Watch how each leg moves and the way it impacts the ground. Okay. This is in slow motion. What is that movement?
I don't know.
That is extremely arachnoid.
There's you're gonna see a guy, instead of an arm, he has a dragon on his hand.
This guy?
No,
Further back?
I think it's forward. It's going forward. I remember seeing it like one of the last things I saw. Maybe it's him. Yeah. There. Right there.
Oh, yep. Huh.
Is that a her? That looks like a woman's face.
I'm pretty sure.
No, it's a dude.
Yeah.
That's probably what you're supposed to do in the game. You think that you're supposed to go in and like slash them and kill them and cut them and stuff, but really you're just supposed to like look for the stitches and slash those.
Terminated.